Good afternoon. This is MetLoop meteorologist Nancy Koslick here with an update on today's forecast. We're seeing some really beautiful, pretty warm temperatures down for the southern half of the United States this afternoon, with the 70s and 80s for many of us, including the state of Florida, where that boundary has not yet pushed its way on through. North of our cold front, we're seeing the 60s and 70s for the Sunshine State, and of course, as we head up into the northern plains of the U.S., things are quite a bit chillier up there with the single digits and those teens for this afternoon. Now, as far as weather goes, we're seeing a lot of moisture into the western U.S., a whole lot of nothing for the center of the country, and then continued snowfall for the northeast as we're watching an upper level low continue to track its way off the coast. And eventually all of this snow will leave with it, but we will not say goodbye to the lake effect snow, as we're going to continue to see a northwesterly flow really bringing in that lake effect snow for places like New York and Pennsylvania over the next day or so. As far as the west goes, the same thing is kind of happening out here, except that we've got warmer air, and so we're not seeing the same amount of snowfall or ice. Instead, we're seeing a lot of rain, especially for the coastal areas and down through central California. Now, the higher elevations, like the Sierras, are still seeing quite a bit of snowfall, and we have seen a little bit of freezing rain up into the very northern and northeastern portions of Washington today, which can definitely make things dangerous out there. But for the most part, we are seeing a lot of rainfall for the West Coast. Checking out the snowfall totals map, this is for the next 24 hours, and as we watch that low continue to lift its way away from the northeast, we will keep quite a bit of snowfall in the forecast, especially for the very northern and eastern half of Maine over the next 24 hours. This is where we could see 6 to 7 more inches of accumulation over the next day or so. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we're also going to continue to see that lake effect snow for portions of New York. We're looking at about 4 more inches of accumulation possible over the next 24 hours. And out into the west, of course, we're going to continue to see that conveyor belt of moisture making its way into this section of the United States. And so we're going to keep on seeing that higher elevation snowfall, somewhere around 16 inches possible for the highest elevations of Washington, the same down into the Sierra Nevadas, with over 2 feet in store before all is said and done, and before we say goodbye to this moisture for the upcoming weekend. Here's a look at what we're expecting as far as activity goes for the rest of tonight, and notice we'll again begin to see that upper level low in the northeast really push off and take all of that heavy snow with it. We will, however, continue to see lake effect snow impacting portions of New York, where we were seeing those high totals just a minute ago. As far as the west goes, it's going to stay pretty active as we continue to watch that upper level low that's just off the Pacific Northwest push its way a little closer to the coastline, of course helping to stream more of that moisture into this region of the country. So we'll see more in the way of higher elevation snowfall, of course lower elevation rain, especially along the coastlines and extending through central California, and into the very, very northern portions of the Pacific Northwest. We'll still see the possibility of some of that freezing rain and a little bit of ice out there. So heading out tomorrow morning, as far as going to work and school and all that stuff goes, make sure that you're very careful on those roadways, because things could be quite slick in this portion of the country for tomorrow. As always, you can receive more of your weather information on our Facebook page, as well as Twitter and metloop.com. Thank you for watching this afternoon. Stay safe and have a great day.